Hey yo, Sharks of the Top Percent, I'm Ranter Joey.
And I'm Maxcen.
And welcome back to another fun-filled episode of FutureSight. Today we're going to be covering Lugia EX. So, let's go. Lugia EX is a 180 hit point basic Pokemon with one ability, one attack, the standard X ruling, weakness to lightning, resistance to fighting, and a retreat cost of 2.
So what type of Pokemon is it?
It's a colorless type.
You didn't tell us.
Yeah, because I kept on tripping up whenever I tried.
Indeed.
Anyway, back to the description. Lugia X has mostly been noted for his ability Overflow. For each of your opponent's Pokemon that is knocked out by damage from Lugia X's attack, you take one more prize card. He also has the attack Plasma Gale, which for 4 colorless does 120 damage. But you have to discard a plasma energy attached to Lugia X, or the attack will do nothing. With all that said, let's actually get into how we can use Lugia, how people have been looking at it, and how I feel it should be played. One thing I have to note about when Lugia was first revealed is the fact that when people read Overflow, a lot of people did jump on the idea of basically Lugia has to knock out 2 X Pokemon and you've got game. And to me that sounded like a lot of people were turning around and saying, oh, we will make Lugia X Dex. And where that can work, I don't think it's where Lugia's greatest strength lies. Personally, I see Lugia as more of a cleanup Pokemon, or basically picking off bench sitters, and if he can knock out an X because you've softened it with something else, go for it.
So he just comes in with a Hoover?
Yeah, basically he's the janitor.
Oh, okay.
So we just need our own little JD for him to pick on.
I see what you did there.
I mean, one thing, as I said though, a lot of people have been looking at, Lugia as its own deck though. And personally, for like 120 damage for 4 energy, and you have to discard the specific type of energy, it doesn't really seem like the best idea to run it as a central part to a deck. To me, it feels like it should be a tech, something to clean up your game, something to push for the end game.
I suppose there's some merit to that, but again, the people looking at it as like a Lugia X deck. Probably, I don't think it on its own it couldn't be a main attacker. But I feel like you could probably make a deck concentrated around Lugia, as basically like a lot of decks now need to 2-hit Pokemon unless its name is Rayquaza. So maybe the whole idea is that you use Lugia as the second attack. Like
true.
It'd be very easy to use it in a Darkrai deck, and with a format that's full of X Pokemon, it would be kind of easy for Lugia to take 6 prizes in 2 turns. Well, not 2, in about 4 turns. And I don't think it's a mistake to try and win the game as fast as possible. People have already tried to do this in the past. We've had Donk decks and such, and like Sable at Donk and such. And this is just basically a more longer way around of it.
True. I mean, I'm not saying don't go for the short game. If you can win the short game, if you can build that deck, then yeah, definitely go for it. It's a way to win. I'm just saying, seeing it as the whole 120 damage thing isn't really that much.
No, but again, things like that's why I'd probably say use it with Darkrai, mainly because you can attack and then retreat and then move the energy across.
Yeah, I've been thinking the 2 major decks that Lugia X could work in. What are currently in format would be Darkrai, where every single one of your energy attachments in optimal circumstances is variable. And in Rayquaza Eels, because you have a form of energy acceleration.
I feel it would depend on the build to see which one's more successful. With the because Lugia is a Plasma Pokemon, you can make use of the Plasma trainer cards, like Colress Machine.
Let's see, we've got the Colress Machine to search for the energy, and don't we actually have one that searches out for...
There's the Plasma Pokeball.
Oh yeah, Plasma Ball, which came out in the half deck. That's why I
Yes. Actually, it was a campaign promo.
Okay, campaign promo. You know what I mean?
But because it can abuse these cards, or not it, but because they are trainer cards that accelerate the deck, it means the Darkrai deck could have accelerated acceleration, with the Sableye being able to use the trainer cards over and over again.
True, I mean...
But being able to use Colress Machine, maybe like twice, in the same one twice, or maybe using 2 in the same turn, is very easy to do.
Another fact that you pointed out, because of Sableye, you can take the plasma cards like Chorus Machine, Plasma Ball, and you can actually run like lower numbers of them. Because as you said, they're reusable. Also, with it being like Darkrai High Dragon that you put Lugia into, Lugia it shouldn't be your early game focus. I mean, you'd probably be running 1 or 2 Lugia at most.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be using it as your early game focus, but you would be using it to close off your games.
Yeah.
After Darkrai's use Night Spear to place, say, 60 damage on something that's sitting on the bench, then you can go for Lugia as something to knock out an X.
It doesn't necessarily have to be something on the bench. It's very easy enough in the Darkrai build just to hit with Darkrai and then switch back into Lugia.
I can see what you're saying there, yeah.
Because it will be, even that combo will 2-shot anything that has 170 hit points if they have Eviolite on them. If they
I was going to say, it's like, yeah.
If they don't, it will 2-shot mostly everything, that combo. Obviously, that aim would be to hit an X hard, but I feel with Lugia present, it kind of detracts the use of things like Celebi, Mew, and Victini. These very and Shaman. These very small X's with only 110,
which can be one-shotted by this new big guy.
Yeah, and I think the very few people that would feel safe knowing that a possible bench sitter or main attacker could easily basically give your opponent half a game.
Half a game in one attack. I mean, as you said, like in something like Darkrai, you could probably have this going turn 2.
Well, depends on Darkrai though, but yeah, I can see what you mean.
I'm thinking 2 Dark Patches, manual attachment, and a Chorus attachment.
Oh yeah, and in an ideal world.
Well, yeah. I mean, as I said, turn 2, so you need to get the Dark Patch off, twice in 2 turns, so you can save it back once. I'm not saying it's a perfect idea, but the idea has merit.
The only flaws I really see with Lugia is the fact it has a big fat weakness to lightning.
Yeah, you actually, when we were talking about this yesterday, you did mention that the normal Zekrom knocks us out in one shot.
Yeah, with its normal attack.
With the Bolt Strike, even if you are taking the 40 recoil from that.
Yeah, Raikou also one-shot,
True.
Which is a big deal, because Raikou is probably one of the easiest maintenance cards in the deck, because I know it discards all the lightning energy, but with the free retreat cost and the eels, it's easily the most replaceable attacker in the deck.
You could, if you manage to set them up correctly, you can actually rotate 2. If not, you've still got the idea of every turn you're sniping 100 if the Lugia is active. Well,
it's not even just that. They can use the Raikou just once and then switch back into whatever the preferred main attacker is, like if it is Rayquaza or Zekrom X or whatever.
True, that's what you're saying there.
But the other thing is, by the point when we get Lugia, we will have the new Klinklang, so we may see the return of the Klinklang decks.
Klinklang, yeah.
Which would shut down Lugia as well.
Let's see. Oh, what was that? Wait a second.
It's Klinklang.
Yeah, looking at the actual ability.
Your Steel Pokemon cannot be damaged by attacks from EX Pokemon.
Oh yeah, prevent all damage done to your Metal Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's X Pokemon.
Yeah.
So that's Klinklang X that's coming back. There's also, wasn't there a... Oh no, it's not in this set, it must be in the one before it. There was actually a Scizor that had a very similar ability.
I feel the Scizor is easily going to be overlooked by the Klinklang though.
I could see them partnering up because...
There's no need.
I'm thinking because you can basically set up the Scizor early game.
I just feel that...
So you still have that protection. It basically stops turn 1, turn 2 attacks.
Yeah, but I'd rather just take the Scizors out for consistency cards and get the Klinklang to protect all my Steel Pokemon. To be honest though, a lot of decks nowadays, or a lot of most decks, probably couldn't do anything to Klinklang at the moment, so the Klinklang anti-X deck will probably make the format maybe shift away from the EX Pokemon, or maybe just teching less or teching more non-X Pokemon so they can hit around it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Reshiram, the original Reshiram, would be a good tech, as I don't believe that there's anything in Klinklang that can one-shot it. I'm probably wrong, but I'd like to If people want to comment on that, if there is some stupid obvious card that does one-shot Reshiram, it might be, I don't know.
Well, we've got nothing that's dual type yet, so I can't think of anything. Actually, though, we may have Blastoise Keldeo by then.
Yeah, that is true. But again, Reshiram would just be a tech to deal with the Klinklang.
True, so you don't want to like run the whole deck just for a certain
Yeah.
time. Also, if Keldeo Blastoise becomes a thing, then Grass type Grass decks are going to make a bigger appearance in format.
The one thing I saw about Lugia is the one problem I find, not a problem, but one thing I don't like, is it is colourless. Cause when I initially saw it and saw the attack, if it was a psychic Pokemon, it would have been able to hit something for weakness.
I know what you mean. It's the fact that it could have, it could have been a Mewtwo counter. I mean, it's another card, for fighting the
Not
Mewtwo.
so much a Mewtwo counter, but it would actually. I think that's obviously why they made it colourless, so that it wouldn't be able to just one-shot things with its very powerful, well, not very powerful, but very powerful ability, I should say.
Making it psychic, you would also get the same problems that come with Mewtwo.
Yeah.
The fact that Mewtwo makes it so many decent decks are unplayable, because you know that pretty much every deck in format has at least one Mewtwo in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Gothitelle Reuniclus is just done and dusted. It's gone.
But I don't know. I still feel that because electric variants, mainly like Right Eels, is still a strong deck in our format. Well, electric as a whole is still a strong type, and it's only going to get stronger with the release of the Magnezone and the Rotom from Plasma Gale, which is in the same set as Lugia. I don't. Its lightning weakness is such a huge liability. I feel it can't really stand up to lightning decks as a whole. As I say, because you've got the Rotom, who can make a mess with its attacks and helps Eels decks a lot, and then you've got the Magnezone with its very powerful ability. The
double brain, you may pick support cards per turn instead of one.
I feel that could easily make. I don't feel that they'll be decks on their own, but there will. I believe that Magnezone and Rotom will find their way into decks or have decks built around them in some way.
True. I mean, that Magnezone and the Rotom at the same, coming out together, they do have amazing synergy just for the fact that you can speed through your deck.
I feel the
build
Rotom.
The rest of the deck to do everything.
I feel the Rotom is a lot better in that aspect because the Rotom has a lot of synergy with the Eels already, whilst the Magnezone is a stage 2 that doesn't really have synergy. It's just an acceleration engine that anyone can use. It's just the fact it's also an electric Pokemon is where the synergy lies.
Also, the fact that he can hit and switch.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, it's not bad to have, especially with someone that's got free retreat.
But I feel Eels decks already
a retreat cost of 3, not free retreat.
Yeah.
I thought I'd clear out because I realised as I said it sounded.
But I still feel Eels. I don't think they can. I don't think they have room for Magnezone. I feel if it was going to be a deck, it would probably be Eel Zone or something like that. So that basically the deck would just take pure advantage of using Magnezone's ability.
True. You'd still have the Rotom starter in there though.
Maybe it doesn't.
It dumps electric energy in
the
discard pile for Eel to pick up, but it's also giving you a +3 on hand. Well, +2 on hand, but it's 3 edge on deck.
Yeah, and I just feel that the Lugia, I just feel that I don't know, its electric weakness is a huge thing. It is a plasma Pokemon, so it can use the new Stadium that will be coming out, which will get rid of its weakness.
Plasma Frigate.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel. The problem is, it has to discard its energy to attack, and I don't feel it's going to have more than one plasma energy on it at a time.
I think it's actually better to only have it with one plasma energy on at a time.
I know, but then again, it will not benefit from Plasma Frigate.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean now. I thought you were just talking in general about attacking for a second.
No. If it does have 2, there are a lot of cards in the current format now that discard special energy. In fact, in the same set as Lugia, there is a Cobalion that does just that for 1 energy and 30 damage.
Holy Edge, 30 damage, choose 1 special energy attached to the offended Pokemon and discard it.
So, and you've got Enhanced Hammer.
Enhanced Hammer and Crushing Hammer. They're going to be the biggest worry, really?
I think Enhanced, really.
I'm just on a bit like, both of them in general.
Yeah. But,
going to be a problem.
I don't know if Lugia will, because that's why I didn't like the stadium with Lugia, because it has to discard them. If there was some way, if they turn around and release a plasma card that you can get the energy back somehow, or maybe a plasma Pokemon with an ability, then maybe there'll be some merit. Yeah, maybe there'll be some merit, but I don't think beyond that there'll be anything, to be honest.
Actually, it would be nice to actually see a plasma Pokemon with a very like a very base set style effect. You'll basically remove an energy from your field to pick it up after an attack.
Maybe.
So basically, it's so you can exchange a basic for the special.
I suppose.
I mean, that, to me, that does feel like a very base set type of attack. You remember the was it Gold Super Potion?
Yeah,
you have to remove an energy to heal.
Yeah.
So it's like basically half a max potion.
But again, I think Lugia seems to be one of these cards that's like an all eggs one basket kind of thing, where you have to come in. If you're going to play, you have to come into the mindset of you have to kind of win sort of very quickly. Against Eels decks, I assume people are going to point out that you can obviously kill 3 Eels or knock out 3 Eels, and win from that. But I don't know how fast that matchup will be. If Eels get set up first, it will obviously just be one-shotting Lugia's left, right, and centre. True,
although on that point, there is a strong merit to actually taking out Eels. Most of the time, your opponent is going to want at least 2 Eels on the bench.
Yeah.
So if you knock out one, they're most likely going to provide you with the third.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're giving you the numbers you need. It's just you have to survive long enough to use them.
Yeah. The other thing is, I suppose the big benefit is it really stands up to Terrakion decks.
Something with 180 hit points, resistance to fighting is Eviolite compatible, and basically you put 10 damage on a... Okay, well, I'll say 30 damage on a Terrakion, and you can one-shot it.
You can assume 10. Most Terrakion decks will be using the EX Pisha over the Eviolite.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Dipped a bit there. It was only minor dirt, but it was a dirt.
That actually might have some really nice merits for the... is it
Especially...
Hypnotic Poison Beam?
Let me say. Oh, the Poison Hypnotic Beam.
A
trainer item from Plasma... Yeah, you got it the wrong way around.
Oh.
A trainer
Close
item.
enough.
That's another Plasma trainer item. The defending Pokemon is now poisoned. Flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is also asleep. So I can see there being a lot of merit in that card anyway.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of matchups where it's like, oh well, I'm just 10 short knocking something out. That's the card to go for.
I kind of just realised that won't work with Lugia because you'll do the damage after the attack. Sorry.
Yeah, it won't work with his ability, but he's still taking prizes.
Well, I meant as I suppose with knocking out Terrakions in general would be good. I suppose that would be better for Terrakions.
Later games, really. You can use it for setting up later though, because you can always go poison that. They're either going to retreat it to the bench to get rid of the poison, or they're keeping the damage. You can knock them out that way. If they retreat to the bench, it's a case of capture. They've got that 10 damage that you need them to have.
Yeah. But all in all, I'm not quite sure on how well it will do. Because Eels is such a prominent deck in our format. It may see it, I think the easiest way will be into Darkrai, or probably either Darkrai, Ember, or Blastoise variants.
True.
Just because the pure energy acceleration they offer. I feel
personally, I'm feeling either Darkrai or Blastoise. I personally wouldn't go for Ember.
I know it's not
because Blastoise is going to have the Keldeo.
Yeah, that's what I was just
for retreating.
Yeah.
It's like Ember doesn't offer anything like that to actually get you a active spot if your main attackers, well, not your main attacker, your main engine is dragged active. Ember tends to be a reverse wall.
I suppose the possible cards you could use with it may be something like Dusclops or the Registeel to set up KOs.
You mean Dust Noir, perhaps?
Dust Noir, sorry, yeah. I've read the balls from Dusclops, like...
Yeah, I do like that Dust Noir. I think he has a huge amount of potential.
I'm not sure if he's got enough. He is a stage 2, and I don't know. There aren't many spread decks that have room for a stage 2.
I'm guessing that he's going to be the return of Kyurem from Noble Victories if he does have an impact.
The problem is Kyurem also required Blastoise.
True, so it's going to be...
It used to rely on Feraligatr, I think. Was that a deck? I think it was. Like half a turn. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It used to rely on Feraligatr or Blastoise, whereas now it's relying on, Feraligatr or Electrode.
True, to get an energy out quick enough.
Yeah, and now it has to rely on Blastoise, is what I'm totally saying there.
Yeah, true. I mean, to be honest, you could still go for a Dusknoir tech in there, but it wouldn't actually be a main focus. It'd probably be a 2-on-2 line.
No, and I feel like a spread deck with Lugia EX, I feel like would start losing the consistency. It would just be trying to do too much at once.
True, yeah. Which is what you'd have Kyurem, you'd have Lugia, you'd have Blastoise, and you'd have Dusknoir.
Yeah.
It's like too many lines conflicting with each other. You'd have to make too many choices on what to candy at what time.
Yeah, exactly.
Your spell would have to be so tight, and you'd have to play it so amazingly well.
It's kind of a shame that Lugia Dust State has to be from Lugia's attacks. It's not when Lugia is active. I believe that's what the old Salamence was.
The old Salamence up to 2 prizes.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it was just if Lugia was active, then you could try and use a attack and retreat kind of thing going on.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what I mean now.
Happy little tech into into Zoneals.
Yeah, maybe. But all in all, I'm very unsure about Lugia. As a deck, I'm kind of worried, but as a tech...
As a tech, there's so much potential.
Yeah, the tech, especially for a very surprising, like, taking the last couple of prizes, it could easily do that.
I could see a lot of... Well, I could see a handful of scenarios where, you get to your mid-game, and Lugia EX could take 3 prizes for it.
The only... As a tech, though, it's not a tech that you can just splash like U2. It's a tech that you actually require some other cards in your deck to be sacrificed to use it, and you have to find those cards one way or another. You do have to find room for Plasma Energy. You have to find room for... Well, you don't have to use Corvus Machine, but most people, I assume, will. You have to find room for stuff like that, and that will take deck consistency away from the rest of everything. And at the moment, there's no way to recover special energy.
I know that is one real kick in the teeth about it. The whole fact that special energy just seems to how to say this. Mostly when we were first given enhanced hammer, given a scan for it. The first thing I said about it was the fact that it basically is the same as Lost Remover.
Yeah.
The format we had right there and then.
Yes.
Sending a special energy to the discard pile is pretty much the same as sending it to a Lost Zone. It's gone. You can't get it back.
Well, I suppose we had Steelix, that was about it.
Yeah, it was only for special metal.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean.
It's like a Clinker and Clank will do the same thing, so,
maybe.
Special, goes for metal energies.
Yeah. The other thing is about Lugia is it can't be... If it's dragged out, you can't charge it up and swing with it, because then because it only has it only has 4 attacks in the whole game. That is the only...
If you run the 4 energy, if you're running a situational card, then you've got to run
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's got 4 attacks at most in the right circumstances if you hit all your plasma energy, if none of them are discarded, and all that business. Yeah. So it has potential. If I assume something will make it work, maybe in the future there'll be dedicated plasma cards, and maybe it'll be able to just be slotted in. But I feel at the moment there's not enough support. Well, there's not enough dedicated support for the plasma energy to make it work.
True. So I think on closing we can say that Lugia EX is pretty much a mixed bag. It's not the most broken card ever. It's got so much potential if used correctly though.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar to the Salamence from the last set. That was a pretty big... It had a similar ability, but again, it really didn't have the punch that... They don't have the punch they need to use their abilities well enough.
Oh, which Salamence was that again?
Was it Supreme Victors?
Oh, you're talking about 2 formats back.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Arceus.
Was it Arceus? Oh.
Yeah, when you play...
Oh, yes, the Salamence before was some Supreme Victors though, wasn't it?
Stormfront. But actually there was a severe one with Salamences.
I don't even know. But you know what I mean? They both have a similar ability where they can take more than 1 prize, but they don't have the punch they need to use their abilities in such a way that will make them as broke as people would want them.
True. I mean, quite a few people tried to make Salamence work and it didn't.
Yeah. Although a lot of people will say that Lugia is a basic and it has a better energy cost. But
it doesn't have
all
to fulfill two colours at the same time.
yeah, but at the end of the day, they both have very specific costs, and they both don't punch for enough on their own. They do require setup, and I feel Lugia is probably needs more dedicated support with the plasma energy that limits its whole attacking power as a whole.
True. I mean, I can easily see what you're saying, the whole fact that with Lugia, even though it's a basic and you can slot it in a bit easier, you still need to give it the backup.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we'll sign off now. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Unless you can make any comments.
There's nothing particularly. I think we've covered everything in regards to Lugia. I don't think there's anything that we can say that will add anything, unless I've forgotten some major electric Pokemon. That maybe I should mention that if you Zekrom can revenge KO, well, not even revenge KO it, but can just kill it if you misuse its Plasma Gale attack.
True. Actually, I did have a note I wanted to make about the Poison Hypnotic Beam.
Oh, okay.
It's most of the fact that even if you don't go for using Poison Hypnotic Beam the turn before you make your attack, say you do the 120 and Poison knocks them out, against something like Terrakion, you will actually stop them getting the EXP share off. So basically the energy will all go to the discard pile instead of going to the benched Terrakions.
Wait, what? Oh, yes, right.
Because EXP share, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Damage.
Yeah, it's when
Whereas poison is
damage from an attack.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand you now.
So you can still even if you don't go for the double prize thing and using overflow, you can still make use of both of them.
I still feel there's probably better cards or more consistent cards that could do exactly the same thing for probably less energy and probably for less of a cost.
So with all that covered, I've been Right on Joey.
I'm still Maxcen.
Until next time, stay in the top percent.